Welcome to my presentation on Instructional Technology Integration. I taught my example lesson to a Spanish 2 class in Centerville High School. The class is composed of 12 freshmen, 12 sophomores, and 2 juniors. Most of the students are at about the same level in Spanish, with the exception of 2 heritage speakers and 2 native speakers that were placed in the class late in the year. It is a talkative, high-energy group who I see before and after lunch. The understandings that language learning involves taking risks and learning from one's mistakes, and that one's grammar does not need to be perfect in order to communicate, underlie all of the language production that occurs in my classroom. A student needs to make a lot of mistakes in another language before they can get it right, and they need to feel comfortable in a classroom in order to be willing to make those mistakes. In addition to these understandings, the standards that drive the lesson are that the student should be able to respond orally to an unrehearsed scenario, and that the students should be able to understand affirmative and negative commands. In this lesson, the learner plays 2 roles. One is the role of a builder, and one is the role of a peer mentor. This lesson is a follow-up to give students practice in using commands after they have already been introduced to the topic. First, the students provide a narrative for a pre-existing cartoon. Next, there is a project where students use commands in either a cartoon, a video, or a meme. This project was very flexible in that they could work alone or in a group. Lastly, students had to post their finished project or a link to it in Google Docs and give feedback to their peers on their projects. The technology tools that were used for this lesson ranged from the augmentation to the redefinition level of the SAMR model. The students used VoiceThread to provide a narrative for a pre-created cartoon and to listen to others' responses. ToonDo, Google Drawing, and Windows Movie Maker were all options of programs to use for the project, depending on what format the student chose. Lastly, Google Docs was used to share the finished projects and to give each other feedback. Students were assessed in various stages of this lesson. First, their VoiceThread posts were rated, and their projects were rated on a rubric. At the end of the lesson, they took a quiz on affirmative and negative commands on Google Forms, and the results were graded using Flubaroo.